What is good, everybody, man? Welcome into the Bluebloods, here, official podcast of FCS Football Central, man. And we are joined by one of the best edge rushers at the FCS level, man. My guy, AJ Simon, out of UAlbany, was a first team FCS Football Central All-American selection, third team FCS Stats Perform All-American selection, consensus first team All CAA selection. 20 plus tackles for loss this year, was part of one of the best edge rushing duos in the country. Now looking to take his talents to the next level, which is to the NFL, man. AJ, appreciate you jumping on the show, man.
Thanks, man. Nice to meet you. Love the introduction.
Hey, I got to make sure that get all the guests and everyone hyped up, man, because I'm excited to always have you guys on the show. But man, before I usually want to start from coming out of high school stuff like that. But for you, man, you Albany entering the year, no one's radar, man. You guys were voted, I think, 11th in the CAA coming into the season. I don't even know if you guys had five all conference selections. And by the end of the year, you guys have like five or six all American selections. When did you know how special that this team could be?
Uh, During camp, I want to say like we was all working, even like during practice, like in the film room, we was all just locked in, all on the same page. And then since then, I just knew like this is the year, and everybody just always doubted us. We was always the underdog, and then we just blew out this whole year.
I felt like last year you guys were always like a play or two away from winning the big games. And even though the record wasn't there, you guys had a lot of youth. Obviously, Reese was a young quarterback, had some youth offensively. Did you see any flashes last year where you guys felt like you let some opportunities slip away in some of the bigger games?
Oh yeah, definitely. A couple games, it was just always that one or two plays. Excuse me, where we just always slipped, and it was just sort of like, damn, if we would have made that play, we would have won that game. It was always like that, but then we capitalized on that coming into the next year, the 2023 season.
A lot of people who haven't kept up with your journey, you transferred to Albany from Bloomsburg, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
What was your recruiting process like out of high school? And did you have any FCS D1 offers, or was this the route you wanted to take, going to Bloomsburg and then working your way up to the Division 1 level?
Yeah, in high school, I had tore both of my ACLs, and UAlbany was actually looking at me, so I had to take that route because they had lost interest because of my ACLs, obviously. And then went to a prep school actually in 2017, right after my high school career. Then transferred to Bloomsburg. Actually, during my prep school, that's when I changed my position to defensive end and never looked back. So then I went to Bloomsburg, went up there, and then hit the portal after my big year at Bloomsburg, and then I was there at Albany.
Was there a big adjustment from Bloomsburg to Albany, the speed of the game, anything like that? Like, or was the transition pretty seamless for you?
For me, I was always pretty fast and strong and physical, but I would say like the biggest adjustment would be like the speed of the game and the size of the offensive line.
When you look at this past season, man, is there a game that sticks out to you as like your breakout game? Because coming into the season, you had a really good first year at Albany, but no one was pegging you as a preseason All American guy. What game this year did you feel like you arrived on the FCS level?
Um, so there's actually like my first year at Albany, that first game against Baylor, I had like two sacks, like three and a half TFLs. But this year, I would say like William and Mary, I had a big breakout game there. Marshall, I had a good game. Richmond had a good game, and Villanova had a good game too. So it was a couple games, I would say.
Talk about the chemistry in the defensive line room, man, because I mean, obviously yourself, Anton, both all Americans, and some of those interior guys as well, I don't think got the shine that they really deserve. Talk about the chemistry in that room and how you guys work so well as a unit.
So yeah, me and Anton, we was just always the guy. We just always was just working. It was just a race to the quarterback. And then Elijah Hill and Joseph Greeny. I feel like Joseph Greeny didn't get a lot of recognition, but like we would be in the film room like if they would count like take twos, Joe Greeny would be the guy. And Elijah, he's just a dog. Like he just got a lot of moves in his package, and then we just all clicked. Like we just all ate after each other. Like if one wasn't there, another one would be there. I just loved them guys.
You guys win the first conference, like the CAA title in school history, man. Talk about that feeling when you guys finally got to hold up that trophy, got to see that you guys were going to the FCS playoffs and what that experience was like.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. Like that's just when we knew, like, yeah, we was the ones, the best team in UAlbany history. And we really worked for it, man. Like just throughout the whole years, like, and we all just had to just sit back and realize, like, we actually did it after all the hard work that we put in.
After the season, you get invite to some postseason All-Star games. How did you feel about your performance, and what was some of the feedback you got down at the Hula Bowl and some of the games you got to go down to?
It was amazing. It was definitely definitely a blessing that some of the NFL teams and scouts and even like the All Star teams would like take a chance on me and go to the Hula Bowl. Some of the feedback, the scouts, they really loved me. They said I performed good after every practice. I had every like two different scouts come up to me after every practice saying I'm a hell of a player, good player. Just had an interview, and they would see me at some different positions like fullback and like outside linebacker, stand up DN, and some said special teams too. So it's just a blessing that they see me playing at the next level. After all I've been through.
Did you get to sit down and interview with all 32 teams, or were there a handful of teams that stuck out to you through the interview process?
So when I went there, I interviewed with 22 teams, and the Texans really showed me a good amount of love, and a couple other teams, like three other teams.
Texas Pro Day for you. What are some of the goals that you have preparing for the Pro Day? Do you have like a 40 time in mind, a bench press in mind? Like, what are your goals going into Pro Day?
So my goals for Pro Day for the bench, actually, we just did a mock Pro Day where I'm trained at up in Pittsburgh, and we did 245 like as many times, not 225. We did 245, and I did 30 reps. So it's gonna feel pretty easy when I do 225. So we're gonna see. So I'm aiming for like 40, 45, that range. Probably get 50 because I heard the bench record is like 49 something like in a combine. And then for the 40-yard dash, I'm aiming for like a high 4.5, 4.56. That's what I ran at Albany when we tested down there. So if I get in that 4.5 range, I'll be pretty good, pretty happy with myself.
Man, I'm just here to say if you break the 49 mark on the bench press, man, social media is going to go crazy, man. Because I mean, I don't think anybody at the combine the last few years has been over 40,
Yeah. So yeah, I'm aiming for
especially
that.
not edge rusher.
Mm-hmm. It was like an offensive
And,
lineman, right? It's always offensive
yeah,
lineman. It would
I,
feel
I
good to get a D lineman.
I want to say it was, it's funny because if I'm not mistaken, Anton's there now. I want to say it was an offensive lineman from Arkansas
Oh yeah.
that
Wow.
that had like way over 40. Because I was talking to Charles Davis today about from him. But looking just at your career, man, is there a defining moment from your UAlbany career that you look back on, or if whether it's a game, a moment, a play that you wish you could experience one more time?
Just winning that, just be in Richmond again, just winning that championship, that first round of playoffs, and just winning the championship. That was a great moment, man. I just love to enjoy that time. My brothers always to look back and just think that we really did it after all the hard work we put in.
When you look back from true freshman year till the guy I'm talking to now, what's the biggest evolution that you've personally seen in your game?
Um, I was always fast, but I play a lot faster, got a lot stronger, and a lot mentally stronger mentally.
And when you look at the NFL now, whether it's a current or former player, are there one or two players that you try to model your game after the most as an edge rusher?
Yeah, Khalil Mack and Von Miller, and I want to give one more like Aaron Donald because of his size. Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean it's kind of like a perfect comparison in terms of like height and weight and things like that. But one on one, what's the number one mistake an offensive lineman can make against you?
Just sleeping on me, thinking I'm not flat, thinking I'm not fast, thinking I'm not strong. Like I'm a defensive end that could play with speed and physical. So once I sell him with speed one time, then I show him my power, make him respect my power. So I
It,
just got a lot of tools in my inventory. Sorry.
no, yeah, speaking of your tools, you got to get to the quarterback on this play. What's your go-to pass rush move?
Either speed to power or wipers. Sell him with speed, and then once he shoot his hands, wiper. And if he overset me, go inside. Block that inside arm. Yep.
I love it. At UAlbany, who are one or two of the best offensive players you've ever had to face?
UAlbany, offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So Ethan Driscoll, he was pretty good, and yeah, I feel like that's the only one. I would say Ethan Driscoll from Marshall. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
Marshall turns out some offensive linemen. I feel like offensive linemen and running backs for some reason, like they always seem to have like really, really good ones. But man, the last question here. If an NFL franchise asks you what they're going to get in AJ Simon if they select you in the upcoming NFL draft, man, what do you tell them?
You're gonna get a great guy on and off the field. You know, a great guy on the field. Very mental toughness, speed, good first step, fast. Loves to study. Love to study film work. Loves to stay in the film. Always want to get an edge on his player. But yeah, for a good first step. Very fast and physical.
Oh man, I absolutely love it, man. AJ, I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time, man. We're trying our best to spotlight all the top FCS guys, and I'm hoping you get your shot because, man, I don't think there's not many edge rushers in the league in FCS right now that had a better year than you just did this past season, man. But let people know where they can follow your NFL draft journey on social media. Anything you want to promote, man. This time is yours.
Yes, sir. So on Instagram, my name is AJ Simon.8, and on Twitter is A Simon XXI.
Man, guys, make sure to go follow AJ on all social media, man. We got to promote our FCS guys to the fullest extent. But, guys, for AJ Simon, for myself, for the Blue Bloods and FCS Football Central, we are out for right now.